Welcome to the program The Opinion, a program that creates room for all to air their views on various issues. Today on The Opinion, we'll be beaming our searchlight on the activities of the reference hospital, Okene. To discuss this with us is the Chief Medical Director, Professor Solomon Avidime. I am your host, Joshua Adinoy. Thanks for joining us. Before we hear from our guests, let's go on a short break.
Opinion, they say, is the lowest of human knowledge, but the world, the people, the actions, reactions, and decisions are often patterned with opinions. The same world is characterized by different views, and decisions are sometimes judged by actions or reactions due to opinions. People, nations, and even lower animals rise against or for one another just because of their opinions. Minds are set on opinions daily. Tell me what you don't know and I will tell you. It's all about your opinion. Join me, Joshua Adinoy, on Malachite TV Online every Monday by 9 a.m. Your opinion, my opinion, if well explained and understood, will help us to build a better society. Your opinion, my opinion counts. Don't miss it.
Welcome back. The program is The Opinion on Malachite MLC TV, your number one online television station. Let's now meet the CMD of the Reference Hospital, Okene, Professor Solomon Avidime. Prof, let's meet you officially, sir.
All right. My name is Solomon Avidime. I'm a professor of obstetrics and gynecology. I'm the Chief Medical Director of Reference Hospital Okene. It's nice to have you in my office this morning.
Nice having you too, sir. We've actually heard a lot about the Reference Hospital, Okene. To start with, how has it been so far serving as the Chief Medical Director of the Reference Hospital, Okene?
Well, it's an interesting period for me. Not just because I'm serving as the Chief Medical Director, but I have the opportunity to work for my people. That is the indigenous Ibira people where I am part of. So it's very interesting, and I think I'm very happy about it.
All right. Now, what is it about the Reference Hospital, Okene? Like, what is this that is so special about this very hospital that people have been talking about?
The Reference Hospital Okene is one of its kind. Let me say that it is one of His Excellency's GYB signature of the many projects that he has done. As it is, the Reference Hospital is an international hospital located in Kogi Central Senatorial District, Kogi State. So it is so special that there are so many equipments that we have here that are debuting for the first time here at Reference Hospital Okene. But let me just take you and give you an overview of the hospital. As you see, the hospital built from the scratch, beautiful outside and inside. It is made of 209 bedded hospital, and it is equipped with latest medical equipment. We have clinical departments, we have laboratory departments, and then the radio diagnostic center is one of its kind. In all, the Reference Hospital is able to offer services not just for tertiary health care that it is meant for, or go down lower to offer primary health care, secondary health care. And at the top of it is the tertiary health care services, because it is designed to also serve as a teaching hospital in the nearest future. In all, we have departments like obstetrics and gynae, pediatrics, medicine, and pediatric medicine surgery, and as well as we have ophthalmology, those that look at the ear, nose, and throat, and we also have the renal center that contains the dialysis machines that we have. And in the radiodiagnosis center is where we have the CT scan, the MRI, then we have the digital mammograph machine, and we have the digital X-ray as well as latest version of the ultrasound scan machine. So in all, it's a complete hospital, having an accident emergency that has its own theater. We also have about 2 twin theaters that serve the general purpose, and the obstetric unit has its own theater. So 4 theaters in all, 2 emergency room service, 2 emergency rooms that serves for emergency care, and the outpatient department has about 11 consulting rooms, which means that at any point in time we can have 11 people consult, 11 doctors seeing patients. In all, well built to standard. We have private rooms, and then we also have the operating microscope, which is very useful for the ophthalmologist and the neurosurgeon. So it's a hospital that can serve not just the community, not just Kogi State, but it's meant to serve Nigeria as a whole, and as well as attract international clients to come and access services. The hospital also has the oxygen plant. The oxygen plant is meant to produce medical gases that we actually serve for the entire Kogi State and beyond. And we also have the hyperbaric oxygen treatment plant that is also one of its kind even in West African sub-region. So the hospital is a full-fledged hospital, and then we've commenced services and we're growing.
Thank you so much for the insight, Prof. Now, let's talk about the services offered in this very hospital and, of course, the quality of your personnel.
Yeah. Now, as it is right now, we have medical officers. Those are the very first officers that you consult before you go to a higher level of care. The medical officers numbering about 8. We have specialized care. I am an obs and gynae specialist. The CMAC is also an obs and gynae. So we have 2 obs and gynae specialists in the system. We also have a consultant radiologist who also supervise the radiodiagnostic unit. And we have visiting consultants, both in the renal care, cardiovascular physician, and we also have an endocrinologist that also come to supervise those that have diabetic, thyroid, and co. So as it is, the quality of care is very high, and you cannot actually get it around.
Now, one thing...
because of the personnel we parade that I've mentioned, so we actually can boast of a higher quality of care that can be accessed in the previous years in this community.
Wow. You mentioned something, the quality of the personnel and the services rendered here, you can't get it anywhere else around. Prof, you've actually been giving us a lot of insight, and to the viewer out there, I am very sure that I have no doubt that you are beginning to know some things about the reference hospital Okene that you don't know before. But you want to hear more of this, and I also want to hear more of it as well. But let's just go on a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. The program is still The Opinion on Malachite MLC TV, your #1 online television station. Now we continue to hear from the Chief Medical Director, Professor Solomon Avidime. Prof, you've actually spent a lot of time discussing with us, and we want to ask, looking at this very gigantic structure, people may have this very thought that probably this hospital is meant for some selected persons. So we want to know from you, is it just for the rich or is for everyone?
The government has taken charge of its hospital, and the hospital is meant for everybody. Little children, older children, women, men. So it is actually within reach. Yes, there was this out of reach talk before now when there were other managers that were in charge. Truly it was. But as soon as government took over, the cost has been brought down to the barest minimum. That is bearable enough for us to be able to sustain this system. This hospital must sustain. We must also hand over the hospital from one generation to another. In order to do that, people must pay a sustaining cost. And so what we're charging here is that cost that will sustain the system, and it's low enough that the community can actually bear. So we are really very accessible in terms of financial cost. So it is meant also for everybody. We see children, we see adults, we see in all manner of ailments. We're not limited to just seeing very highly advanced referred cases. We see even from malaria to typhoid, from cough to diarrhea. So we're seeing all.
Thank you so much, Prof. To the viewer out there, in case you have this notion that this very hospital is just for maybe the rich, the CMD has actually clarified this, that it is for everybody, irrespective of your class. Just come around and you will receive the necessary health need. And you know, just as he has said, the financial implication is very, very affordable to each and everyone in the society. Tell us about the functionality of the CT and MRI scan in this very hospital.
Yeah, the two facilities were activated last year, because it involves training and adapting the staffs on ground to the machines. Because I see them, they are very new machines, and not many people have been very used to operating them before. So as soon as I arrived, we get in touch with the manufacturer who installed them for us, and then they trained our staffs. And so the MRI CT scan has been active since October last year, late October to early November. So we've been functioning. CT scan, MRI are all functional. We've been getting referrals from far and wide, and we've been doing them and giving results. And one thing that is also very peculiar is that we made them affordable. So it's able to attract clients even from Abuja to come and do an MRI here, because of course. And then Lokoja, even in the neighboring states of Ondo, Edo, people come around to access the MRI CT scan services. So we're fully functional.
We also heard of dialysis center or something. Tell us about
Yes, the dialysis center is meant to handle those that have kidney issues. Many times you see that because of disease process, either primarily related to the kidney or the secondary effect, the kidneys are affected, and then the kidney is not able to clear the system. So the dialysis is meant to act in that capacity. And so we have about 6 dialysis machines. But although they are all set, but we're yet to activate that system because it's very highly specialized services. So what we're doing now is we're thinking that before the middle of March, it should be able to come on board to add to the retinue of services we're offering. The reason because it also requires training the staffs on ground, adapting them to the dialysis machine. So we just set that in motion, and by middle of March, dialysis facility should come on board, and we should be able to dialyze our very first patient.
Oh.
So we're hopeful that very soon that will come on board.
Wow.
But it's fully ready. It's just to activate them, giving them staff, and the manufacturers coming to adapt our training to the system will hit the ground running.
Wow, thank you so much. Can you talk to us about the patronage so far?
Wow, that's heavy. It's so heavy that sometimes we actually don't have enough hands to see them because of affordability on one hand. Because once it's affordable, then people can all come. It is when it's not affordable that you don't see people coming to access the service. So it's affordable. So the patronage is very high. We took off from a patronage of 50 patients per day, both follow-up and new patient, to almost about 100 follow-up and then new patient. So we are running. From that time till now, we're hitting the patient mark of almost 6,000.
Wow.
Okay, and then in the period of time that we've already commenced services, we've been able to perform surgeries numbering over 100. We've taken deliveries numbering over 100. We've performed cesarean sections. We've performed difficult surgeries here, and patients are well alive. So we're fine. We're good. So patients are actually coming. But there's one message, and I think that is what we need to pass to our locals, not the other people. They come very late. So if time we incur mortality, that's when there's a death of a patient. It is not necessarily because we have not done what's supposed to do, but because they are coming very late. So there's a time you come and it's too late. And people need to know that there's a time to quickly come to a hospital to access care. And not waiting till that time that it is very difficult and more complicated. And then that's when they begin to come to reference hospital. And for the locals, they also have that attitude of going to seek health care from peripheral health centers, quacks and all that. And they're going to be referred from there when they have mismanaged them and then send them to reference hospital as a matter of emergency. So we want the locals to understand that seeking health care should be at the right time. And then you can come to the reference hospital as a first timer and you'll be seen. You don't have to go through a system of moving around the peripheral hospital before you come to our facility. So we want them to come as early as possible to allow us that time for diagnosis and treatment.
Can you actually tell us at what specific time should they come?
Now you can never say of what become of an ordinary headache or an ordinary fever. You can never say what becomes of the end result of that ailment. So as soon as you have anything that feels abnormal, you should seek help. And don't wait until the fever moves to 3 days and then you are down and you're collapsing before you come to a hospital. And that's the system we found around. People come when they are already collapsing. And the ailment must have started for a long time. And they must have stayed or must have moved from one health center to another before coming to the reference hospital. So we want a change of activity. We want them to change this idea. They must come as early as possible. No ailment is too minor to visit the hospital.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, going back to the issue of patronage, looking at the patronage before now and the current situation in the country, talking about the economic downturn, how is the patronage still like?
As it is, you cannot, but again, people have to access healthcare because with the economic downturn, high cost of living, medicines are also expensive. Drugs are expensive, so drugs are not isolated. So as long as those drugs are expensive, you can also imagine that the cost of buying drugs will be higher. We have not actually increased the cost of doing the surge of doing the activity of consulting or taking a card. But because the cost of buying drugs are expensive, in the overall, it will count on the final expenditures when you come to hospital. So that may be a very big challenge. But there's a way out. The way out here is for people to subscribe to insurance. The Kogi Health Insurance Agency is available. The National Health Insurance Agency is available. And they offer different packages for people to subscribe. And if people are able to subscribe, it will actually reduce the out-of-pocket expenditures and they will be able to access health care. And then a wide range of care can be given on that insurance. So for finances, yes, as long as the cost of living can need to go high, you expect the cost of medical care to also go higher. And of course, people can go around it by buying into the insurance scheme and then they can have some relief.
Thank you so much, Prof. Finally, your word of advice to the public.
Well, I want to just thank them because oftentimes they are able to cooperate with us. Some often they are not, and then but we find a way around it to run. But what I just want to advise the general public is to actually seek health care early. It helps the medical care persons to be able to do their function. Because once you present very early for any ailment, then we can make the diagnosis early again enough. And then you do the appropriate investigations, and then you get the right treatment. So it's been my preaching, it's been my message that people should come to hospital when it is early. Don't say it is just an ordinary headache. Don't say it's an ordinary fever. Don't say I'm just having dizziness, I don't know why. But you need to consult your doctor. And they can come to reference hospital even at that. We're here to receive them.
Thank you so much, Prof. Something came to my mind while we asked the last question. Talking about the current weather, what effect does it have on the health of the people? Then if it has effect on people's health, how can they manage it?
No, we're moving from a harsh weather condition to, actually entering into the heat. Now, although yesterday we had the rain, but weather has the very varying effect on the health of the citizen, ranging from upper respiratory tract infection to that of meningitis, to that of tuberculosis, to that of malaria and all that. But what is important is that people should actually be observant of their health status and have an early health-seeking behavior. It's key. People should not resort to self-medication, and that is what the majority of people do. They resort to self-medication. They don't check their blood pressure. People don't check their sugar level, and they're just moving around as if all is well. And people should check at the slightest opportunity, and then they should consult medical practitioners, consult doctors, and let doctors see them, and then reference office available to see them.
Thank you so much, Professor, for this very awesome time you've given unto us to interact with us on the opinion on Malachite TV. I hope when next we knock at your door, you open for us.
No, I'm very happy that you guys are here, and like I said, it's time for us to partner with you so that I can project our services, because we are not meant to serve only the state. We're national and international also. So oftentimes, whatever we do, we share with you to help us project among your viewers and to the world. And I will be glad. So I think this partnership has just started. It was nice that you're here, and we look forward to further interaction.
Thank you so much, Prof.
Thank you very much.
We are glad to have you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
We've heard a lot from the Chief Medical Director of the Reference Hospital, Okene, about the activities of the hospital so far since inception. And we are very sure that you have learned a lot, and our advice is, just as the CMD has said, seek medical attention early so that challenges can be tackled as soon as possible. Thank you so much for being part of this very edition of the program, The Opinion on Malachite TV. We're hoping to have you once again when next we knock at your door. I am your host, Joshua Avidime, and thank you so much for being part of this very edition of the program.